Good evening. This work session of the Board of Education of the Cleveland Municipal School District will come to order. Mr. Stockdale, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Olcott?
Here.
Mr. Phillips?
Here.
Mr. Briggs?
Here.
Ms. Jones?
Here.
Pastor Jones? Mrs. LeBron?
Here.
Mrs. Peak?
Here.
Dr. Sridhar?
Here.
Mrs. Welch-Howe?
Here.
There are 8 members present.
Thank you. I ask everyone who wishes to rise and participate in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, tonight is a special evening. As many of you know, this evening we're pleased to welcome the class of 2026 valedictorians and salutatorians and their families, and we're very excited to celebrate with all of you this evening. Before I turn it over, well, I guess we'll wait till they're back in here, but Dr. Florence will be congratulating them and recognizing each of them, and I'll turn it over to you, Dr. Florence.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome to all of our family and friends who are here with us tonight. Board members, I'm going to ask that you stand, and as each valedictorian and salutatorian come through, they are going to shake your hand and then process down the middle of the aisle back out of the building. Okay, so you just stand and stay where you are, and they are going, or you can come to the front. Either way, Dr. Sridhar. That's short arms, I understand.
Oh, you're waiting for me to say
All right, from Bard High School, we have valedictorian Cameron Perkins. And not with us tonight is salutatorian Isal Ali. From Campus International High School, valedictorian Alina Cox is not with us this evening. We do have salutatorian Micah Schwab. From Cleveland Early College, we have valedictorian Morgan Rosario. And salutatorian Samantha Swarna. From Cleveland High School for Digital Arts, we have valedictorian Gabriel Beard. And salutatorian Eugene Miller is not with us this evening. From Cleveland Remote High School, Ariana Vogel, valedictorian. And Chanel Sanders, salutatorian. Neither of them are with us this evening. From Cleveland School of Architecture and Design, valedictorian Taji Coleman is not with us. Amaya Lipscomb is salutatorian. From Cleveland School of Science and Medicine, Tasnima Sheikh, valedictorian. Owen Pennington, salutatorian. From Cleveland School of the Arts, Zipporah Peterson, valedictorian. Shyla Henriquez is salutatorian and is not with us this evening. From Collinwood High School, Marceth Coleman, valedictorian. He is not with us. And Ariane Ederson is salutatorian. Neither of them, where's Ariane? Ariane is with us tonight. From Davis Aerospace and Maritime High School, Makai Campbell, valedictorian. And Noah Bazil, salutatorian. From East Tech High School, Jaden Copley is valedictorian. Ariane Robinson is salutatorian, and they are not with us this evening. From Facing History New Tech High School, Angel Torres Lugo is valedictorian. He is not with us this evening. And Deborah Uwingiamana is salutatorian. Garrett Morgan High School of Engineering and Innovation, Rain Kelly is valedictorian. And Michael Perkins is salutatorian. From Garrett Morgan School of Leadership and Innovation, Iris Hernandez is valedictorian. Lizbeth De Jesus is salutatorian. From Ginn Academy, Devontae Bonner, valedictorian. And Sincere Johnson, salutatorian. Neither of them are with us this evening. From Glenville High School, Alex Izira is valedictorian. They are not with us. And Amari Rouse is salutatorian. From John Adams College and Career Academy, Aaliyah Rashay Miller is valedictorian. Anaya Terrell, salutatorian. From John F. Kennedy High School, Jaslyn Bowman is valedictorian. And Ramira Dross is salutatorian. From John Marshall School of Civic and Business Leadership, Susanna Niota is valedictorian. And Reem Alzin is salutatorian. And they are not with us this evening. From John Marshall School of Engineering, Jaleisha Basnet is valedictorian. And Deepika Magar is salutatorian. From John Marshall School of Information Technology, Quinn Tran is valedictorian. And Kirk Neal Williams is salutatorian. From Lincoln West School of Global Studies, Renil De Jesus is valedictorian. His mom is accepting on his behalf. And Gabriel Rivera is salutatorian. Lincoln West School of Science and Health, Tyler Cowart is valedictorian. And Omar Musa, salutatorian. From Max Hayes High School, Anna Contreras, valedictorian. Haiti Mateo, salutatorian. From MC Squared STEM High School, Eliana Gorman, valedictorian. Anthony Morrow, salutatorian. From Natividad Pagan International Newcomers Academy, Yanira Romero, valedictorian. Nadine Shabayek, salutatorian. From New Tech West High School, Rouge Adhikari, valedictorian. Christian Harris, salutatorian. From Rhodes College and Career Academy, Carrie Hunter, valedictorian. Kari Hunter, valedictorian. Iana Clark, salutatorian. Rhodes School of Environmental Studies, Omar Zagari, valedictorian. And Kendra Hess, salutatorian. Finally, from the School of One, we have Jude Klatt, valedictorian. He is not here. And Isabella Atkins, salutatorian. All right, board members, if you will go back and have a seat, they're going to stand behind you for the picture, if that's okay. The valedictorians are coming in first. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Are we standing? What's up?
All right, just a couple things as the students come in, the soon-to-be graduates. Thank you to everybody for coming in to celebrate with us. I want to give a big shout out to all the family members who have been on this journey with our students to get to where they are today. Let's give them a hand. Thank you for supporting these incredible students. Thank you for the gift of these students. Thank you for choosing CMSD. Thank you to our educators who've had, whether you're in the room or not, you've had a big part in these students standing up here today. I'd like to recognize that Cleveland State University President Laura Bloomberg is here. Dr. Bloomberg, would you mind standing? Thank you for joining us. I know we have some of your future students in here. And then finally to the Vals and Sals. I always say this at this time of year. I know that everybody in this room is so incredibly proud of you, and you've worked really hard to make us all proud. And now I hope that you will officially turn the page and work really hard to make yourself proud from here on out. And I know you have already, but you'll have so much more to be proud of. So congratulations, Vals and Sals.
Before we get to the picture, I want to share some statistics about our valedictorians and salutatorians. I echo everything that Chair Ellicott has shared in terms of how incredibly proud we are of each of them. It is very hard work to get to the point of being a valedictorian or salutatorian of your class, and I know that they've worked so hard. We've given them gifts in the previous ceremony, but I want to share some of the statistics about this year's valedictorians and salutatorians, and look forward to celebrating all of our scholars as I'll be attending all the graduations this year. So 2 students will be entering into trade apprenticeships programs right afterwards. We have 2 students who will be attending historically black colleges and university. I think I saw 2 students that have Howard University up there, the #1 HBCU in the country. We have 9 students who will be enrolling at Cleveland State University and 10 students who will be attending the Ohio State University. We have 1 student who has earned the nationally competitive full ride Jones C. Edwards Scholarship. That is very competitive to get. Another prestigious and competitive scholarship is the Gates Merit Scholarship. We have 6 Gates Merit Scholars, or governors, I should say governors Merit Scholars. We do have a Gates Scholar as well, but not in the, as part of our vows and salves. And these students are going to universities across the Midwest, the East, all over the country. We have students that are attending Ivy Leagues that we're very proud of in this group. 43 students are eligible for Say Yes colleges. 9 students will be attending 9 of our private partner Say Yes partnerships, and 33 will be attending public colleges here in the state of Ohio. And altogether, they have earned, as I shared earlier, $5.2 million worth of scholarships. So give them a round of applause. Before we do the picture, just 2 groups I want to thank. First, they don't get here on their own. They get here with all the educators in the room. So I know we have teachers in the room, teachers that may be watching, teachers all across the system, and school leaders. Let's give them a round of applause, because without them, they would not be here. And most important, the village that is here tonight, the parents, the guardians, the aunts, the uncles, the nights you've cried, the nights you said, get up there and do your homework, the nights you've pushed to just keep, making sure that they were getting where they needed to go. Your sacrifice is on display tonight. And so I just want you, as you're celebrating not only tonight, but in this graduation season, to know how incredibly proud we are of each of you. And thank you for your support and partnership along the way. Are we doing 2 waves? Okay.
Can you see?
Yes, shift down a little.
Go that way.
What's up?
There you go. That concludes our valedictorian and salutatorian ceremony. Parents, you are more than welcome to take your sweet angels and head on home if you would like to.
It's nice and same here. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, that pretty much just cleared out the room.
Thank you. Take care. That's the kind of thing my dad would do. All right. Now we'll move on to the only slightly less exciting part of the meeting. This evening's consent agenda includes the minutes of the last board meeting and 6 legal resolutions. The chair will now entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda consisting of agenda items 3.02 through 4.06 as set forth in the board meeting agenda.
So move.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Stockdale, will you please call the roll on this motion?
Ms. Ellicott,
Yes.
Mr. Billups,
Yes.
Mr. Briggs,
Yes.
Ms. Jones,
Yes.
Mrs. LeBrun,
Yes.
Mrs. Peak,
Yes.
Dr. Sridhar, Mrs. Welchow. The motion passes with 8 votes.
Thank you. The motion passes, the minutes are approved, and the resolutions are adopted. The board will consider the next 2 resolutions separately. The chair will now entertain a motion to adopt resolutions 5.01 authorizing the chief executive officer to execute a memorandum of understanding with the Cleveland Teachers Union regarding an enhanced building substitute layoff mitigation agreement. Is there a motion to adopt?
I move it.
Thank you,
Second.
thank you. Dr. Morgan, could we have an explanation of this resolution?
Yes, I have a short presentation also for this. Before I go into it, I want to extend huge gratitude to our CTU president, Mr. Earl Savage, and the entire leadership team for working, collaboratively pushing us during this time to reach what we believe is an agreement that we have to mitigate where we are with the layoffs. I want to be very clear that this no way takes away, some of the pain that I know that members have who have been impacted. In no way takes, it's not, CTU saying that they actually agree with the fact that we needed to do layoffs, but this is our agreement of coming together to say, what can we do to ensure that members who are impacted, that we do something to support those members to the extent that we can, and then also what we can do to support the district. And so I do want to share some of the details of this. There was a joint statement that went out. Of course, this is pending board approval tonight, where if the board does vote on this, I will be then directed to sign. We do have the signature already from Cleveland Teachers Union. So this is a MOU for enhanced building subs for 26-27. And so what this includes, it's for 60 licensed teachers that receive layoff notices at about the second week of, the second week of April. And they would serve as enhanced building substitutes for the 26-27 school year. Enhanced building substitutes will be assigned to the same building each day. They will help to fill sub vacancies that come up in the building, and if there are no subs that are needed or any staff that are absent, there are other ways they can provide coverage, including assignment that's even longer term or some other duties if they are not assigned to a classroom on that day. Those 60 who accept the enhanced building substitute position will remain in that position until they are recalled to a teaching assignment, and this will be for the entire 26-27 school year. In terms of finding out that assignment, that will be determined by the district by August 3rd. Now, the offers to the 60 teachers is largely based on seniority within the high school and pre-K-8 categories. And those offers will go out this week where teachers can start to accept those assignments. In cases where a teacher does not accept an offer, the talent department will continue contacting teacher on the layoff list based on that order of the layoff list. Enhanced building subs will maintain their recall order. So there's a certain order based on the contract in which teachers are to be recalled back. These enhanced building subs would maintain that. Even if they go into this, they would not lose that. Enhanced building subs will maintain their regular benefits and pay throughout the year. I will also say this is a part that even before we announced layoffs, this was even something I was talking to leadership prior to Mr. Savage coming in. This is what we wanted to do even before we could had to announce layoffs. I wanted a way that we could bring some teachers back at the pay and benefits that they could be at, and I'm glad that through working through some different things, we're able to do that. Maybe for not the number we initially thought we were going to be able to, but I'm glad we're able to do it for some. Now, through July 10th, the vacated enhanced building subs can be backfilled. After July 10th, that number will stay stagnant, and anyone who is either recalled or resigns at that point, it's not like we would backfill to the 60. But from now up through July 10th, the 60 is the number, and we'll continue to backfill that even if people either get recalled or their resignations. In addition to creating job security for the impacted educators who are a part of this plan, there are some other benefits to the system as well. This creates a pool of impacted classroom teachers. They're fully licensed teachers, teachers that have already worked in our system, know our kids, know what's taking place in the system. That provides us a pool of teachers, and they can support us to have a really strong start to the school year. This also allows us, as we will not know what the enrollment is in all of our buildings until the very first day of school. That's typically how it is, and even in the first weeks of school, and this allows us to provide it provides the district with a pool of teachers that we can use to help support our buildings and schools with a strong start to the year, and also with the transition of building brighter futures. And note that our historical attrition rates, if we go based on those historical attrition rates, we believe that by fall 2027, the next school year, that most, if not all, of these enhanced building subs will be recalled by that time. But we'll see what takes place. This also provides that cushion and job security for those that are not. The other thing I'll say that this is only for the 26-27 school year. This MOU does end at the end of the 26-27 school year. It does not carry into the 27-28 school year. Let's see if there are any questions.
Right, any discussion from board members? Mr. Briggs?
Thank you, Chair Alquad, and thank you, Dr. Morgan, and to you and Mr. Savage for reaching this compromise. Would you explain how this is going to be funded? I think I understand it, but maybe for the audience.
Great question. So one of the things we were talking about, and this is where even we were talking about with the previous administration, for the previous leadership for the Cleveland Teachers Union, when we found out, as we mentioned before, it was part of our plan for 5 Cs to remain in the building. You may remember that from our Building Brighter Futures presentation we had in December. We said 5 Cs will remain. When we found out from the contract that before any teacher could lay off, we had to lay off our 5 Cs. That created it created some room in the budget in terms of where that pool of teachers that we will be utilizing. And so for this year, we will use those dollars. We've also used some of those dollars to actually not lay off some of our teachers. So as I mentioned before, we reduced the number down significantly. That was something that was really important to our previous CTU president, to bring the number down as much as possible. So before we had announced, we had brought the number down. We added some positions back into the system, and we'll be able to use these dollars for this year. But the reason why it doesn't carry over year is, as you know, any savings that we free up, that goes over year. So this is the cost we would only use for 1 year and not in perpetuity.
Thank you, Dr. Morgan, and I'd echo what Mr. Briggs said. Appreciate the union leadership and your team for working so hard to figure out some level of mitigation strategy. Like you said, it doesn't help everybody, and I've said before that, we didn't join the school board to lay people off, so very glad to see that we can mitigate to some extent, and I know that I appreciate the question from Mr. Briggs about the dollars. I'll just add that former State Board of Education member Merle Johnson really had a really strong explanation today at the City Club around the way our finances has evolved as well as some of the Signal articles that have come out recently with an overview of that. So I've appreciated that information has been out in the public, and I know that it's not an easy job to try to figure out the people, right, and the people who are working with our students and having to, keep some of them on, but let some of them go. So thank you for that. All right. Seeing no further discussion, Mr. Stockdale, will you please call the roll on this motion?
Ms. Ellicott?
Yes.
Mr. Billups?
Yes.
Mr. Briggs?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mrs. LeBron?
Yes.
Mrs. Peak?
Yes.
Dr. Sridhar?
Yes.
Mrs. Welchow?
Yes.
Motion passes with 8 votes.
Thank you. The resolution is adopted. The chair will now entertain a motion to adopt Resolution 5.02, authorizing the Chief Executive Officer to execute a memorandum of understanding with the Cleveland Teachers Union regarding makeup time and packing and amending the 2025-2026 school calendar consistent with the terms of the MOU.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Dr. Morgan, could we have an explanation of this resolution?
Yes, this one I do not have slides for, but want to thank the leadership of the Cleveland Teachers Union for the pushing questions that they have from their membership, as well as our team. I know that there was a team of people working really hard, even up until today, to get in the terms of this agreement, and so really appreciate that. Appreciate Mr. Roman on my team, J.R. Tompkinson, and so many others that have provided this, and everyone on the executive leadership team for working with the Cleveland Teachers Union. What this agreement does is we know that there were some schools, we had a very rough winter this year, and we almost used up all of our calamity days. They go by minutes and hours, so we track those. We have a timekeeper in the district that tracks our minutes. The majority of our schools didn't have a full day left, probably about 0.7 or 0.8 of a day left. But we have some schools every time when there's no power in the building, and without going on a rant, and I don't know if Chief Thompson is here, but on days when our power goes out, but I do see Dr. Florence, because we know when we get these messages, when days when our power goes out, sometimes we get an alert from Cleveland Public Power that says, estimated time, maybe 2 p.m. And what do you do at that point? Sometimes you could say, do we wait it out? Which I remember when I was a school leader, not in this system. I remember being in a dark high school where my kids could not transition classrooms, and we had to stay. But a lot of times we do count that as a calamity day. And when we do that on top of days when we had the winter that we had this year, there are some schools that do not have any more time and days. And so we have this reaches an agreement for those schools that do not have those extra days or minutes to, I believe starting May 13th, for some of them to add 10 minutes to their school day at the top of the day to get to that point, so they would fulfill that requirement. There were a couple of schools that actually needed to add an entire day, and so for those few schools, they're listed in the MOU, the students' last day of school will be on the 29th, which for most everyone else, that is a teacher professional development day, and most students end on the 28th. So for those schools, they would end on the 29th, and teachers would have that day on June 1st. What this also does is it allows our teachers, on that day, the professional development days are not going to be directed by the school or school leadership, and it provides the space for teachers to pack. Particularly in our schools, we have 27 buildings. We have 29 schools that will be closing this year, but 27 buildings where their building will not be in existence, whether it is a lease space or it is one of our 18 buildings that we own that will not be around. For those teachers in those schools needing the time to pack up not only their belongings, but also just any curriculum materials that they have, that day is provided, as well as using the 50 minutes throughout the rest of the year. That adds to about 100 minutes. That's what allows us to do. And so it's just us providing more time for teachers to pack, and then also adjusting the calendar. That's what this MOU does.
Thank you, Dr. Morgan. I see no lights on, so we'll move on to the vote. Mr. Stockdale, please call the roll on this motion. Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Briggs?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mrs. LeBron?
Yes.
Mrs. Peak?
Yes.
Dr. Sridhar? Yes. Mrs. Welch-Howe? Yes. Motion passes with 8 votes.
Thank you. The resolution is adopted. This evening's board meeting agenda also includes an additional 13 resolutions in the areas of Board of Education, Finance, Operations, Academics, and Excellence and Culture, which the board will vote on as part of its consent agenda at our May 19th board business meeting. The board will now hold its monthly monitoring of goals and guardrails. Dr. Morgan?
Thank you, Chair Ellicott. This was a presentation we were supposed to do in April, but appreciated not only the discussion we were having, rich discussion we had from public comment on the April 28th meeting, but also having the opportunity to discuss some of the staffing implications. Appreciated the opportunity to share that information with the board because we were not able to do that at April 14th. And then also appreciate the discussion that the board had on our community partner schools. And so with that, I know was at the discretion of Chair Ellicott and the rest of the board to do this monitoring session today. And then we will do on the 19th guardrail 1, safety, which is all of the CEO measures 4, guardrail 4. And so today we're looking at college readiness 3.3 and just reminding you what this goal is. And so this goal that the board has charged me with and the district with is to ensure that the percent of the 4-year graduation cohort who meet at least one college ready indicator in ACT, SAT readiness, honors diploma, AP, IB, college ready, or 12+ college credit through the College Credit Plus program will increase from 8.2% in August 2024, that's what it was 2 years ago, to 25% by August 2030. We've talked about this before, even though there's a lot of work that we have to do to get to the 25%. This is still not where we want to be, and we have a long way to go. But through the measures that the board has charged us with to look at building the systems to grow this over time, I am happy to report some of the data in terms of where we are and how we've grown from the beginning of the year. Now, the specific CEO measure that we look at is increasing the percent of third-year high school students that are on track to either earn 12 college credits or pass the AP IB exams at the end of their 4th year will increase from the baseline last year of 6.4 to 7.2%. So just some background on this. As you guys know, the new measure at the state is the CCWMR measure, the College Career Workforce and Military Readiness measure. This was the measure that, when added on the report card, actually had an impact on our overall 3-star rating, because we know that we earned 1 star in this based on some of the measures we have here. That we, though we have been getting many of our students to go to college, many of them are not going to college without needing to take remediation-free courses. Many of them are also going to college or not persisting through college. And so we are appreciative of this measure. It's also measuring our career pathways as well. So readiness of a graduating class is estimated by calculating the numbers of students who engage in one or more of these experiences. And individual students are considered college ready by showing readiness in at least one of the indicators. And when we did this presentation last year, you may remember the board meeting where Dr. Florence had they were almost like cards that we were doing, and we were looking where students were matched at. There are 11 indicators by the state that they could be college and career ready, or according to this measure. And that's what we're pushing to get more of our students, moving it from, I think it was 36% for the class of 2024, and we want to grow that. We already know the measure we're going to have for the class of 2025 because it is a lagging indicator. We always get measured on the report card coming up from the previous class. Today's board goal presentation is only going to focus on college readiness. We've shared this before. It's not that we are only focused on college, but if we don't have the bar of having a rigorous curriculum and ensuring that our students are ready, they will not be ready for either college or career. We're not setting them up for success, and so we really want to be holding ourselves to that. And you can see what the two indicators and how they're aligned. We're going to share some more data on that. We're also going to talk about how building brighter futures and the goals we have around building brighter futures is a strategy that helps support the work we're doing to the end of this measure. Advanced placement and international baccalaureate are two programs that we have. Right now we have only one IB wall-to-wall high school. It'll be that IB program will be on the John Hay campus next year, but you're going to hear about the strategy we have to go advanced placement across all of our high schools next year. We do not have advanced placement in all of our high schools now, but that's one of the goals we have through Building Brighter Futures, and we're on track to hit that. And then also the students who are doing 12 or more college credits, this can either take place through College Credit Plus program, whether they're going to Tri-C to do that or doing it in their school, which one of the things we've been holding ourselves accountable to is to ensure that there are college credit programs in school, because not all students have the opportunity and accessibility to go off campus to take those college credit courses. And then state-approved career technical course offered through dual enrollment. That's another pathway that students can earn college credit. It's one of the growing numbers that a lot of students are starting to get college credit. When we talk about remediation-free scores, so when students are considered college ready, these are the scores they must achieve. You can see on the ACT, 18 in English is a remediation-free score, 22 in reading, 22 in math. These aren't that high of scores. It's achievable, but you will be surprised in terms of how our students are actually achieving at that level. And so we're wanting to make sure that our instruction matches students being able to be successful in this area. The same thing with the SAT, the 480 for both English and reading, and the 530 for math. And then the honors diploma, students can demonstrate readiness on this measure by earning one of the 6 honors diplomas, and you can see them listed here. And those are offerings we have throughout the system as well. Let's see where we are on this measure. So right now we are on track to meet our goal. This is actually the final presentation we'll have for the year. So actually this is one that we've met and surpassed. Our goal was to be at 7.2. Right now 10.3% of third-year high school students are predicted to earn 12 or more college credits, pass an AP exam with a 3 or higher, or pass an IB with an exam with a 3 or higher. So we are on track and currently exceeding our end-of-year goal by 3.1 percentage points. This is the highest percentage our students have had predicted by college credit, college readiness benchmarks over the past several years. And so the strategies we're going to be talking about in a moment, not only through Building Brighter Futures, but the strategies that we're holding ourselves to ensure that the academics are matching, it matters. And I know that the work we do when we present these presentations may not always appear like it's much, or we talk about the walkthroughs and the different work that we're doing, but it's really important that we are transforming our instruction, that we are offering more of the programs, because when we see that students are growing in this measure, it means we're expanding opportunity, and when they're achieving at higher levels, that means that they're actually able to achieve at those higher measures. I will note that 76% of all this third-year cohort is not currently enrolled in AP or IB college credits, and that's consistent with where we've been before. And so when we talk about access and what we're doing through Building Brighter Futures, this is the work we want to change. That means the majority of our third-year students do not have access or are not accessing these measures. And so even with this amount of growth that we still have the majority of students that don't have access. So our overall changes are driven primarily by advanced placement readiness and the College Credit Plus. College Credit Plus has been an area that we have been able to control this year under the current conditions, and the work that we're building through Building Brighter Futures will enable us to grow. Advanced placement courses, so we're actually down 2 points from the amount of students that are enrolled in AP courses this year, but we know this year nothing changed in terms of the expansion of AP courses. There were some high schools, because I know Dr. Florence's team had already been talking to school leaders about how they were preparing students for advanced placement and how school leaders were offering more courses. And there were some high schools that made those adjustments at the beginning of this year, but we know that the plan of Building Brighter Futures did not we didn't adjust the access to advanced placement in year, but next year we will. 100% of our high schools will have that, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But where we have seen growth is in College Credit Plus and the students that are accessing that and using that through the High Tech Academy and going over to a Tri-C. That has grown, but we're up by 3% of the amount of students that are accessing that. And the percentage of students who have earned one or more college credit as of the middle of this year is up by 5 percentage points. So this is the work that we've been holding ourselves to. Some of the instructional work we've been doing, we've talked about ensuring that the advanced placement classroom platform is something that our teachers know about and is that they're utilizing in our classrooms, and we have seen teachers utilizing those resources and getting training on that. We have seen teachers utilizing the data from the College Readiness Walkthrough tool. So when we do our instructional walkthroughs, there's one aligned to some of the college readiness indicators, and those are things when we see the shifts in the growth that we've been taking place, we have seen a lot of teachers using that and also a lot of teachers implementing the strategies in their classroom. So that's been something that's been successful. And then also providing the professional development aligned to the instructional practice, both for advanced placement and CCP. Access. We've talked about a strategy of increasing the amount of students enrolled in College Credit Plus. That was something that we did have in our control this year, given that we didn't have the structures in place to advance access through Building Brighter Futures. Next year, we will be offering more, so it's not only just going to be the amount of students that are enrolled in CCP, but also just the amount of courses that will be across the board. We're working with replacing honors courses with pre-AP offerings in science, social studies, and the arts. One of the things, actually this is just from this morning, we heard one school that says we're not offering any honors courses in science. Well, all of our science and social studies and the arts courses at the high school are going to be pre-AP, advanced placement. And so that's one of the things I know that Dr. Florence and Ms. Carlson's team have been working to ensure that that's what we're going to do through in our high schools with the pre-AP strategy. And we talked about the school mergers through Building Brighter Futures provides that opportunity for there to be more courses and college credit courses across all of our campuses. Some things that are working, we know that through Building Brighter Futures, we're going to increase where we are in terms of college credit offerings from 78% to 100% next year. 100% of our high schools use AP potential data in conjunction with historical AP passage rates to select AP courses for next year, because we just don't want to offer AP courses. We want our students to be successful in them, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. 91% of the classrooms observed for both AP and CCP, teachers are implementing the shared principle of close observation and analysis, and 73% of the teachers are doing the higher order questions during the third quarter. And so those are some things that we're seeing through the walkthrough and some of the best practices we're seeing show up in our classrooms. 35%, there's a 35% increase in the enrollment at High Tech Academy. And so that's one of the things that I said was in our locus of control this year. When we weren't able to offer it in schools, we were able to get students over to High Tech Academy. So some things that are starting to work, teacher training on the AP classroom platform, it increased from 52% to 87%. We shared that statistic the last time we presented. 3.1 and 3.2. Some things that are starting to work is the district implementing a unified district strategy to identify AP courses to offer, and then also thinking about the pre-advanced placement. We are also implementing a district strategy starting to work to ensure that we are scaffolding the success in advanced placement. Now, things that are not working. We talked about AP Classroom was, the use this year was optional, and it wasn't something that not everyone was using across the board. Other things that were not working, there is a unit exam that comes along with the AP Classroom. So we had 378 out of 797 students who took the exam, so that's still not a high percentage. And of the 378 who took the exam, only 47% scored with a C or higher. So that's work we have to do because those exams are rigorous, and so if our students are not able to pass it, one, if they're not taking it, that's work we have to do to ensure that there are pathways for students to take it. But if they're not successful on it, that's work we have to do to really ensure that we're preparing our students adequately for it. And 28% of the classrooms observed are implementing the evidence-based writing. We talked, even though we are seeing the higher order thinking and some of the other principles of that advanced placement classroom walkthrough form, we are not seeing the evidence-based writing in the high school space. Now, these are courses that our schools can offer without district approval, and these are also the courses that our students have the most success across the board. And so historically, these are some of the classes that have had success. So these are not the only advanced placement offerings we're offering in the system. There are more, but these are the ones that our team has been working with our high schools to ensure that there are offerings. And I know I've seen, just through the work that Dr. Florence has been doing and the things she's been sharing in our check-in, how our schools are growing in their advanced placement offerings for next year. And as you can see, if it is a STAR, that is listed as a priority course, a district priority course. So next steps, central office staff will attend the pre-AP training. We've been working with the college board to really think about this transition from honors to pre-AP. We've talked about that as a strategy. And one of the things that's helpful with the pre-AP, I know I've shared this before, but there may be a question as to why pre-AP and not honors. Honors doesn't necessarily have a prescribed curriculum that's aligned to the rigor. Pre-AP does. We know that advanced placement has standards. Advanced placement, there's mapping the College Board does to that curriculum. By us adopting pre-AP, it allows us to expose students a lot earlier to this work and also prepare them for advanced placement in the coming years. And so we want to provide that differentiated PD for both advanced placement and pre-AP to new and existing teachers over the summer and during the school year to ensure the alignment of the AP standards that I was talking about. Expanding the number of CMSD teachers that are used as college credit plus instructors with the support of local higher education partners. So if we want to offer dual enrollment in our schools, a lot of times teachers have to have a master's degree in the content area. Most teachers have a master's degree. Our data showed when we actually did our audit that the majority of our teachers, I believe it is the majority of our teachers actually do have an advanced degree, but most do not, and this is consistent across most districts, do not have a master's degree in their content area, meaning there are a lot of teachers that may get a master's in curriculum instruction or a master's in administration, not necessarily a master's in math or a master's in science. And so those are some different things we want to work with our education partners to see how we can offer more dual enrollment in class or figure out how we can get the professors to our schools. Thinking about the requirement of the AP unit practice exams and seeing how more of our students can take that and also increase the rigor and the passage rates for our students. Refine the college readiness walkthrough tool and provide targeted supports to both to AP and pre-AP teachers and also that cohort feedback. We've talked about the teacher cohorts that have been taking place this year, and then I know that's work that we want to do and also get to a point where teachers can be doing the training and doing the trainer model. Also identify the number of students that completed college credit plus credits and the corresponding strategy that connects to scheduling. So just making sure that the schedule allows for that. Schedules are controlled at the school level. So when we get questions about why is my school not offering this, schedules are controlled at the school level, but it does take intentional planning, and that's one of the things we've been working with our school leaders on because it does take intentional planning, and you have to have the space for it, and you have to have a plan for how you're going to offer these courses. Replace honors, we talked about this, with pre-AP at both in science, social studies, and in the arts in 9th and 10th grade years to prepare students, and that's going to be taking place starting next year. Support the continued offering of accelerated math. We talked about this in 7th grade. There are going to be 260 students that are eligible across 12 schools to take that 7th grade math, and then for Algebra 1, we're excited that at this moment, and it could increase it, we'll have 326 scholars that are eligible to take Algebra 1 next year in 18 of our schools. That's 40% of our elementary schools. And that's all.
Thank you, Dr. Morgan. Dr. Sridhar?
Thank you, Dr. Morgan, for that presentation. I have two questions. One is more a clarification. If you could go back to the slide with the line chart, that one. So, if I want to understand, I want to make sure I understand this correctly. So you're saying that 76% of the third-year cohort is not currently enrolled in any AP, IB, or college credit offerings. That means that 24% are. That 10.3% that you're showing is over the entire class. That means that in reality, almost 40% of all the students that are enrolled in those courses are doing well. Is that a good way to read that?
Yeah, and that's how I read it. Dr. D'Amico, is there anything else you would add to that? Yeah, but yeah,
Right.
that's a good way.
So that I just want to call attention to that statistic, right? So it's not the 10%. The 10% number is over the entire class, but when students are presented opportunities, 40 to 45% of those students are succeeding. So this, I'm just reinforcing your point about why it is important that all students need to be presented with the opportunities and access to the opportunities, because a lot more of those 76% of students who are not currently enrolled in those classes may in fact be academically capable of succeeding, but they don't have access to those materials.
Yes. Yeah, and I would say, we shared this statistic before when looking at our math. Of students, when they take Algebra 1 in 8th grade, I believe it was in the 80s of percentage of students who were successful in showing mastery on that. And so when we expose our students and prepare them and get them ready for the higher level courses, it is providing access opportunity, and they're succeeding. And so that's, continued charge to us to continue to make sure we increase accessibility.
So I want to connect this back to our goal, which is the goal number 3, which is 25% of our students will graduate from high school college ready. So when you put this in context and you say that 40 to 45% of the students who do have access to these high quality courses and what the courses that count as college readiness indicators, when they are succeeding, when we are able to broaden access to all of our scholars, that 25% number, which seems like a really large jump from 8 to 25, seems a whole lot more achievable. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Okay, and then I have another strategy question. If you go back a couple of slides previous, actually, you talked about this later on as well about, I'm talking specifically about College Credit Plus, and you touched on this towards the end of your presentation about teacher preparation in order to be able to teach College Credit Plus classes. So again, the state changed the law on that as well this year. It actually made it more accessible for school districts to be offering CCP classes. It's the requirement is, yes, of course, if a teacher has a master's degree in the field, then they can of course teach College Credit Plus classes. But the law actually that changed in 2025 made it more accessible. What a teacher should have is a master's degree in some field, 9 credit hours of coursework at the graduate level in the field that they are teaching a College Credit Plus class, and a plan to earn 9 more credit hours of graduate coursework in the same field. So if a teacher needs to teach a math class, they're teaching, they have to have 9 credits of math, graduate coursework, plus a plan to get 9 more hours. I know that the district has been working on plans. Can you say a little bit about how you are strategically thinking about ensuring that every high school has a reasonable number of teachers who are provided opportunities for such preparation, and how you will, because the strategy that you're talking about, saying that every school will have CCP classes in the school, is only possible if you have teachers who are appropriately credentialed and prepared. So can you speak a little bit to that strategy, please?
Yeah, we have had, we continue to have partnerships. I know we have a partnership with Cleveland State. Currently, our teachers can either become licensed just in general, but these are some of the things we want to continue to explore with some of our university partners to figure out ways that we can get teachers to get more of the training. There was a question that was coming up this year around math and teachers getting trained in math, maybe even getting certified in math. Those are some some strategies that we've been getting, have started to have conversations with in terms of Cleveland State University. And Maria, do you have anything else you would add? Oh, yeah. Go.
Good evening. Oh, it's not up.
I should say Miss Carlson.
There we go. Maria's fine. So we have been working on this. We actually have an MOU now with the Cleveland Teachers Union about how we are able to identify teachers and get them into a partnership that we have with CSU. So the partnership that we have with Cleveland State is starting with English and social studies teachers. So we recruited teachers through sending information out through principals and surveying teachers for interest. We gave them all of the information. They are actually, the summer session is starting in May. We do have teachers enrolled. I do not know how many teachers for ELA and social studies yet. I'm working with CSU because there's some data sharing that we have to process through. But we do have teachers enrolled. They're starting their classes. We knew about the 9 credit hours, and so the deal is that they will start those classes now, and then in the fall, they will start teaching their CCP courses, and those teachers know that they need to continue the coursework for themselves in the fall and the spring to complete their 9 hours.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Jones?
Thank you, Chair Ellicott. The question I have, Dr. Morgan, since you were mentioning that we're going to be reducing the number of honors classes, is that primarily because with AP and other classes there's more standards that we can utilize, or are we looking to eliminate honors altogether?
I believe for those subject areas in science, social studies, and the arts, there will be no honors for those areas. It will all be pre-AP. Is that correct, Dr. Florence?
So next year, we offered our schools the opportunity to make to start the transition. So we are still learning pre-AP, our team is as well. And so some schools have selected to go ahead and start that transition next year and switch from honors to pre-AP. And so for those specific classes, science, social studies, and fine arts, next year they will be pre-AP for those schools who selected. Eventually, we're going to get to all schools making that transition, and also with ELA and math as well.
Thank you, Dr. Florence.
And it's not all science and social studies. Pre-AP has very specific courses, so it's biology, chemistry, world history, and geography. If a school wants to offer an honors course in a different course in science and social studies, then they can do that.
Is that all, Ms. Jones? Thank you. Mr. Billups?
Thank you, Chair Ellicott. Thank you, Dr. Morgan. I just got a couple quick questions. So the first question kind of for me goes to the number of students not taking the AP exam. And I'm still not fully understanding. But I guess my question would be, can we reach our goals with this particular goal if students are not taking that test, and what would be the strategies to help fully understand that students really need to take this test?
So first, I believe you're talking about this data point. Is that correct, Mr. Billups? The one that under not working
Yes.
in the, yep. So these are for students who are enrolled in advanced placement. There is the, almost like a unit exam that comes along with the AP classroom that's aligned to the standards, that if we're utilizing it, and this year was optional. So there were some classrooms that were using it and taking it. And so we have identified that there's an area we do want to focus in on, because if it's already aligned to the standards, we don't have any other benchmark for advanced placement like we do for NWEA for the other high schools, or iReady at the K-8 level. This can be a pathway to see which students are ready or not. And I believe that C score becomes like a cut for us to say, like, if students are getting a C, they are on track to at least earn a 3 on the advanced placement exam. So of the students that are taking advanced placement, we do want them to take this exam, and we do want to help them to get a C or higher. And so it is a strategy, and I think you've hit the nail on the head that if we're not tracking this, or this is not something we're able to monitor and measure, we won't know that all the efforts of the work that we're doing, or even for the classroom teacher, and our classroom teachers are working really hard, and sometimes you're working really hard in the classroom and doing the work, and you're like, oh, did my students get it? This becomes a benchmark and a way to actually find out if students are on track or not. So it is a strategy and one we want to grow, but it's not all the students. These are other students enrolled in advanced placement courses.
Thank you, Dr. Morgan. And then I got one other question. Not really so much a question, but Dr. Morgan, can you kind of speak to, just can you kind of just share how a rigorous education experience for our students will lend them the opportunity to graduate from our school district prepared to go and do whatever it is that they want to do, whether it may be a skilled trade, it may be the military, it may be college, but having that rigorous education, within CMSD would afford them whatever it is that they want to do.
Yeah, no, great question. I'll speak anecdotally, even just not only from my own experience, but just what I hear from our scholars. I know several of you up here also work with our scholars in preparing them for college. Many of our kids, they may get into college, but they're not ready, and they will tell us. I was not ready. I was not prepared. We celebrated our valedictorians and salutatorians tonight. I'm so excited. Even just seeing the slides and seeing the disparities between either GPAs or scholarships, that's pointing to the system we have of inequities, even within our own system, and thinking about how students are ready. I know even from my own experience, and in 8th grade, I was a valedictorian. We had 500 kids in my 8th grade class. It wasn't a small class. We had 500 kids in my 8th grade class. But I was valedictorian in my 8th grade class. I graduated 5 and from my high school class. Doing well from what I thought, and got to college and realized I did not understand how to study. There were just different ways that my colleagues were prepared. And so that's even just thinking about college. But when we're thinking about career readiness, if people say just focus on getting kids jobs, the majority of our students graduate and don't go to college, and they still are not working in jobs, or jobs that are setting them up to be successful or setting them up to be productive citizens. The work we're doing to prepare them to not only access post-secondary opportunities, but also to navigate life. Once again, I say this all the time, it's a matter of life or death for our kids, or other opportunities that they're going to have out there. And so this work is really serious, and it's the work we must do. Now, I know not everything is measured by a test, and there are issues with tests. We could talk about test bias, and does it really do all the tests reflect the intellect and beauty of our beautiful black and brown kids? No. Or the experience of students living in poverty? No. But it is a measure. And if we are not holding ourselves to that, we are letting down the very scholars that we're here to serve. And so it is very important. And I'm grateful that this board, even with a lot of discussion that you guys were having on whether college readiness will be the focus, I'm glad that we do have this to look into.
Thank you, Chair.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Billups. I have a comment on that front as well. Something I was struck by when I first joined the board was the district's AP passage rate and how inadequate, in my view, it was. So I'm glad to see this work. And as you brought up, it's not just about a test measure. It's about students having the opportunity to build a skill in testing as well, right? And in a certain kind of testing, and the study skills that go along with testing, and being able to do well on an area that, you're intelligent, but you need to be able to demonstrate it. And when our students go off to college and they haven't had the opportunity to build those skills, it impacts their intellectual confidence, right? So when they're competing with kids who are able to demonstrate that readiness, it, on an emotional level, on an intellectual level, it harms them, right? Where they feel that they may not belong if they're in college or in the area that they've gone on to, right? And so it's incredibly important that we offer our students that opportunity and that we do it in a meaningful way where they can demonstrate success. So thank you for that. I did have a couple of questions on specifically, you can stay on that slide, and maybe I missed it, but the piece on 28% of observed teachers implementing evidence-based writing, I think that's incredibly important for college success specifically. I know that to be true. What exactly are we doing to address that one?
So writing overall is an area of growth for us from K through 12. And so our ELA team has specifically added as a part of their goals for next year a specific focus on evidence-based writing. And so we will be providing PD for teachers and for leaders around the specific area, and then using our walkthrough tool to go in and monitor and see what is happening and provide coaching and support for teachers. So it is an area of focus for us. We see it on our OST scores as well. We see it K through 12th grade that we are not writing enough and we're not doing enough evidence-based writing, and also not giving kids enough feedback on their writing. And so that is a big focus for us as we move into next year. Our ELA goals are specifically focused around writing and improving writing in classrooms and wanting to see more kids just actually writing evidence-based responses.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. And then Dr. Morgan, you talked a little bit about, we talked a bit about AP, but a little bit about IB. And I did want to take this opportunity to ask you to share an update, because we've been hearing a lot lately from students, right, that they are quite concerned about their IB offerings and what the IB program is going to look like. So can you share a status update with the board on planning for the IB transition from campus over to John Hay and what that's going to look like?
Yeah, most definitely. And then if there's anything that our team wants to add on it. So of course, we're in the process now, of course, with merging our schools to figure out the scheduling. And on our John Hay campus, that will be the only campus to offer IB now. Of course, we would love it as we continue to move on to see maybe that's a program that can be offered across the board. But I know that through the scheduling and also through staffing, that's been intentional work to ensure that we can offer those offerings for not only for the students who are currently getting that IB program, but also identifying students who could take IB that are on the John Hay campus. And Mr. Dean, if there's more that you want to add in terms of the work you've been doing with that campus in particular to support.
Yep, absolutely. So we've been working with the John Hay campus to make sure that the teachers who have shown a lot of interest in teaching those IB classes have the appropriate trainings, which has started last week, and that they have the trainings that will happen over the summer. So we are doing a lot of work to make sure that we have the DP program and the MYP program available for next school year.
I will also name, there are teachers that were currently on the John Hay campus that even when we were doing Building Brighter Futures, that said that they would be eligible to teach IB, and we're really excited about it. I know Rev, who is at Cleveland School of Science and Medicine, is one of those teachers that I believe, I don't know, they're offering the IB Latin. He's already started training. I know he was really excited about it, and I met another teacher that was. So I know that as there has been shifts now that we're doing the necessary transfer process, I do think that's a campus where some of the students have mentioned about their teachers not particularly going over there, not because they've actually lost their jobs. They will still be in the system, but they're not, through the necessary transfer process, not going over there specifically. We have been intentional to figure out where the identifying teachers over at John Hay, and even the teachers that are coming over from Campus International, to keep the continuity of the program growing. This will be a bridge year because this is a year where students who are coming over, particularly those that are juniors, they'll be seniors, will probably have more options to finish out their program than students who have never taken any of the IB courses. So the availability will be there. But as we grow over time, we will see full pathways of students being able to choose IB and grow from that 9 to 12 on the entire campus, as well as some of the other areas, the science and health and medicine, the programs that are coming over from architecture and design, as well as the early college model.
Doc, I just wanted to add to that we recently had a parent night with students that are transitioning to John Hay, just to let them know what our plan is for teacher training and to assure them that we will have the program fully up and functional going into next school year.
All right, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ms. LeBron.
Thank you, Chair. To Mr. Billups and Chair Ellicott's points about, the confidence around testing, I also want to echo what Dr. Morgan shared at the last State of the Schools address, is that during this time of transition for us, it's really important that community partners step up and help. And I think about all of the access organizations. We're very lucky to be in Northeast Ohio where we have so many access organizations, but really, connecting our students to a lot of these organizations like Esperanza College now and things like that can help them build these skill sets even outside of the classroom or to supplement the learning inside the classroom. So I just want to echo that.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Morgan. Under old business, we do have 2 resolutions that the board voted to table at our April 28th board business meeting. The chair will now entertain a motion to take from the table Resolution 12.01, adopting agreements with nonprofit community schools established under Ohio Revised Code Chapter 3314, whereby the Cleveland Municipal School District and community schools endorse each other's programs.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Stockdale, will you please call the roll on this motion to take Resolution 12.01 off of the table, allowing the board to resume its discussion of the resolution?
Ms. Ellicott?
Yes.
Mr. Billups?
Yes.
Mr. Briggs?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mrs. LeBrun?
Yes.
Mrs. Peak?
Yes.
Dr. Sridhar?
Yes.
Mrs. Walchow?
Yes.
Motion passes with 8 votes.
Thank you. Dr. Morgan, is there anything you wanted to add in the introduction of that resolution before we move on to any discussion?
No, I was grateful for the discussion that was taking place. I know that there were questions that were asked last meeting. We were able to provide that to all of the board members in writing, and really appreciative of the discussion. I think it's really important when we think about our partners to ensure that there is the accountability, and also in a time when there's so much transition within the district. That we take into account that time. So I know that there were questions and things that the board was considering, and full support of the questions and the thoughts. I don't know if there's anything else that Mr. Rado would add, or if there are questions that come up. But
I don't believe so, but I'm happy to answer if there's any questions that were not addressed either in the meeting or in the follow-up that we sent.
Okay. I did want to make, a follow-up comment to clarify for folks, and I think we discussed it a little bit, but not much at the last meeting, just around the community schools or the partnering community schools, and how our levy dollars are shared with them to a smaller proportion than we receive, right? But that was a part of the Cleveland Plan legislation back in 2012, where we created that opportunity, or rather the Cleveland Plan legislation created the opportunity for community schools to participate in some of the levy dollars, with the intention of having the district, or rather the city having different kinds of options, but also the district having a role in some of the oversight and partnership with some of those schools as well. Mr. Billups, I see that you have your light on.
Thank you, Chair Ellicott. I do just have a few hopefully quick questions. My first question, and I don't mean to be unfair in asking this question, but is there any data or knowledge base on the number of students that transition between the charters, these schools in the resolution, and the traditional CMSD schools? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes. So there's data that's reported for all of the district and charter schools in terms of mobility that is showing you like kids moving, coming and going. I don't have in front of me the specific information on those partners. There was part of the partnership review process, though, along the lines of what you're saying, where we actually did. Again, it doesn't account just for CMSD students, because some schools do enroll students from around the county and around the state. But there were questions in there around their school level mobility, and then also subgroups. So that was something we did review. But in terms of just like back and forth between the district buildings and these, I don't have that easily accessible right now.
Understood. And I asked that in part to understand some of the other questions that I have around on Article 4, number 4, when it comes to, I'm sorry, what is it? I lost my spot.
Mr. Billups, which document are you looking at?
It is on the Exhibit A. It's on the exhibits for the in 12.01.
Okay. Do you know which?
Yeah, okay, yeah, Article 4.
Article 4 of which exhibit? A, B, C, D?
I'm sorry. Yeah, right here. Yep, there we are. And kind of my point goes to
Dr. Morgan.
number 4, the reporting the students' expulsion and suspensions. My concern is how do we keep the accountability with these particular schools as far as how are they going the extra steps, or what type of rigor they are taking to educate students who might have some challenges, and how do we hold them accountable still to the same standards to educate every student?
So I think at this point in time, what we've done is what was in the application but prior to 2018, and then in 2018 when the criteria were updated. So there really isn't, beyond the fact that the report card includes subgroup performance, which includes students with disabilities. That's the primary subgroup that you're going to see in schools in Cleveland. Beyond that, like gap closing metric and then how that rolls up, there really isn't anything special on the accountability side that we have. And again, that's based on what we have currently in place for the board criteria. So if there was an interest in tweaking that in the future, then it would, the board would have to review the criteria and make a change on that. There are pieces around this in terms of those subgroups and making sure that they're being served and making sure they're not being pushed out around what you're saying, but there isn't beyond the report card anything that says how well do you do with different subgroups.
Thank you. And my concern is partly that these spaces are inclusive for young people who live throughout Cleveland, to make sure that we're educating every kid that lives in the city of Cleveland appropriately. So my other question is on section 4, just down a little bit from where we are. I think it's on page 3 towards the bottom, but it's around demographic information, and I'm just trying to ensure that information would be made available to ensure that every student widely across the city are being afforded the opportunity, particularly our English language learning students, but any student across the board. So would that demographic information be made available readily?
I mean, absolutely. I can share, so what we look at for the schools when they do their applications is publicly available data from the state report card. And then we put it all together by region of the city and then ask them to answer certain questions in the application, which are in the agreement in terms of how they're serving those different groups of students. But yes, I can definitely share with you what we looked at for that. Basically, each school gets a report that says, here's your region, here's your population for the different groups that you have at your school, here's how that compares to the other schools in your area, and then you have to respond to that information with certain questions that are referenced in the agreement.
Thank you.
Mr. Rito, I appreciate that question because I think I've asked about it almost every time we've reviewed a charter agreement around the discipline data and the impacted, special groups or racial groups. So are we or are we not getting that data from our charter partners?
So we have not collected it like every single year from the sponsored or the partner schools. It's really a question of we can collect it if we want. So there's sometimes like when we have reviewed them or when there's been an extra amount of interest in it where we have collected it, but it's not been something that we review every year. I will say that whenever we have reviewed it, we have not had concerns around subgroups. And I guess I would say part of it, frankly, the reason is that most of the schools are not racially diverse, for example, right? They are not economically diverse. So you're typically looking at special education population and what those suspension rates are, and that is part of this recent review we did as well, making sure that you're not pushing out kids that you don't want to be there.
And do we compare that data against our data, our discipline data? Given that we
That's
serve the
not,
same
it's not
groups?
something that is like part of the formal process or something we've done explicitly, but we could do it. And, we have folks now that for the past few years at the district have done a lot of work around suspension and around subgroups, and that is a priority. When you're looking at the district level, you do get a different picture than if you were just to look at one building, which is what we would do with partner charters, where there really isn't much to look at most of the time in
Okay,
terms
I
of the
see.
different groups.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, everybody in this room and many others know that we've made sweeping changes at the district level over especially the last year. And it's important that the board take a similar eye to our other efforts and our other partnerships. And so I appreciate all the questions from the board on that front. I have another question, because we thought about healthy enrollment numbers for our schools as we thought about merging schools so that we could ensure that we had an enrollment number in each of our schools, or almost all of our schools now, where students would have the opportunities that we want them to have. Have we ever looked at healthy enrollment numbers for charters?
Not directly. So what we have looked at for the schools that we sponsor or authorize, we have a much closer eye on those, and we have the ability to take actions if they're not where they need to be. But it really is around short and longer term financial viability, which is really directly tied to enrollment. So for the sponsored schools, we could require certain things. We could not renew a school if we weren't comfortable that it was going to be financially viable. The last thing you ever want to happen is to have a school not make it through a school year. Fortunately, that doesn't really happen much. It's never happened with any of our schools. But on the partners, it's really not part of it. We do collect and review the budgets. And so I think there would be a question, if we were to receive an application, prospective application where we were concerned about the financial viability of that school, about whether it really made sense to invest resources in that school if we didn't think it was going to be around.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Dr. Morgan made an interesting and astute comment today at the City Club Forum, which I keep referencing, but it is publicly available on their website, where, at the number of school-age kids that we actually have here in Cleveland versus the number of schools. So I think it's important to look at. Any other discussion? I'm sorry, Ms. LeBron, I keep missing you because you're right next to me.
It's okay. Thank you, Chair. I have a question around what is the timeline for us to approve the new partnerships? Is there a deadline?
When it comes to finances, we really stick things around the fiscal year, right? So I think we could, ideally this would be decided by the end of June. If the board wasn't comfortable with that, I would have to look into whether it'd be appropriate to do it after that. There usually is, I believe it's in August, there's a resolution where the board is saying, here's the list of schools that we have partnered with, and we're approving them getting distributions, but it's sort of a formality that aligns with the partnership agreement. So if you were to do it past June, I would have to look into that and make sure that would be feasible.
And the new partnerships, are they in neighborhoods that currently don't have an existing?
So none of them, so I think the one on the west, there really aren't many of the partners on the west side. One of these, the Constellation Puritas one is, but then the other one, Broadway, is more Slavic Village, and that one is not that far from some other partners.
Thank you, Mr. Rado. Mr. Billups?
Thank you, Chair Ellicott. I would like to raise a motion at this time, if I may, to remove the 2 new schools from this resolution at this time.
Okay, so you're making a motion to amend Resolution 12.01 to remove Constellation Puritas Community Elementary and Broadway Academy, which are the new proposed partners, while keeping the renewed partners for the time being.
That's correct.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Bertzloff, are we doing everything right? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So far, that's good. All right. Can we go ahead and vote on, so we have to vote on amending it, and then we vote on the amended?
Yes. If you adopt the amendment, the next step would be to approve the resolution
As amended. Okay.
Which is us approving the vote, like we're saying yes or no to the school partner, the partners we already have, right?
So first, you're saying yes or no to Mr. Billups's proposal to, or his motion to amend the resolution. And then next, we will vote on the content of the amended resolution, which is only with the renewed partnerships. And, yeah, right? Okay. Mr. Stockdale, will you call roll on amending the resolution as Mr. Billups has laid out? Did we have a second?
Yes, second.
Thank you. Okay.
Ms. Ellicott?
Yes.
Mr. Billups?
Yes.
Mr. Briggs?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mrs. LeBron?
Yes.
Mrs. Peak?
Yes.
Dr. Sridhar?
Yes.
Mrs. Welchow?
Yes.
Motion passes with 8 votes.
Thank you. And then, is there a motion? Mr. Bertzlaff, we still need a motion.
You would now need a motion to vote. If I may, just to capture the amendment, we would be removing from the resolution the 8th and 9th whereas clauses reference the two schools, the two new schools, Constellation Schools, Purvis Community Elementary and Broadway Academy. And we would be in the first resolve clause, we would change the reference to from exhibits A through E to exhibits C through E.
C through E.
And that would accomplish one. And now that the next item of business, if please the board, would be to entertain a motion to approve the resolution as amended.
Great, thank you. The chair will now entertain a motion to approve the resolution as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Stockdale, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Ellicott?
Yes.
Mr. Billups?
Yes.
Mr. Briggs?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mrs. LeBron?
Yes.
Mrs. Peak?
Yes.
Dr. Sridhar?
Yes.
Mrs. Welchow?
Yes.
Motion passes with 8 votes.
Thank you. Resolution 12.01 as amended passes. And Mr. Rado, thank you for the information on the timeline. We will return to the matter of the proposed new partners in the future. The chair will now entertain a motion to take from the table Resolution 12.02, amending and restating the sponsorship contracts of 3 community schools sponsored by the Cleveland Municipal School District.
So moved.
Second.
All right, and we, of course, discussed this resolution at our last board's business meeting as well. Is there additional discussion on 12.02? Seeing no further discussion, Mr. Stockdale, would you please call the roll to take this motion from the table?
Ms. Ellicott?
Yes.
Mr. Billups?
Yes.
Mr. Briggs?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mrs. LeBron?
Yes.
Mrs. Peak?
Yes.
Dr. Sridhar?
Yes.
Mrs. Welchow? Motion passes with 8 votes.
Thank you. The chair will now entertain a motion to adopt Resolution 12.02.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Stockdale, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Ellicott?
Yes.
Mr. Billups?
Yes.
Mr. Briggs?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mrs. LeBron?
Yes.
Mrs. Peak?
Yes.
Dr. Sridhar?
Yes.
Mrs. Welchow? Motion passes with 8 votes.
Thank you. The resolution is adopted. Is there any new business? All right. On behalf of the board, I'd like to wish Ms. Peak and Mr. Briggs happy birthdays. I know we mentioned Ms. Peak last time as well. You get a double birthday wish. The next regular board meeting will be a board business meeting on Tuesday, May 19th. Note that that's a week earlier than our typical monthly schedule due to Memorial Day on May 25th. and this is at 6:30 p.m., May 19th at Garrett Morgan High School. The chair will now entertain a motion that the board enter into executive session for the purpose of considering the appointment and employment of public employees and officials, preparing for negotiations with public employees concerning the terms and conditions concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment, and conferring with attorneys concerning disputes involving the Board of Education that are the subject of pending or imminent court action.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Stockdale, please call the roll.
Ms. Ellicott?
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Briggs?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mrs. LeBrun?
Yes.
Mrs. Peak?
Yes.
Dr. Sridhar? Yes. Mrs. Walchow? Motion passes with 8 votes.
Thank you. The board will now move into executive session. Following executive session, the board will return to this room without conducting any further business.
have going on here today is a Meet the Farmer event. So we have this year partnered with 4 Cleveland growers that grow the vegetables that are on the salad bars that are in some of our schools. And the students can meet the farmer. Today we have Farmer Sarah and Farmer Jamel, and they get to meet the farmer that grows their food. They can ask them questions. We have trading cards, and the students get to try the produce items that the farmers grow, and it just encourages them to try something new, to eat fresh vegetables, and they can meet the farmer, and then they get to vote on if they like the produce item or not, and they get fun stickers, and we have if they write on the board of what they liked about the product.
This is one of the youngest demographics that we can have an influence on, and when you're talking about school lunches, this is food that they're going to be eating daily for a majority of the year, right? And so to be able to introduce local foods on a daily basis to students within the Cleveland area is just evolutionary.
We're talking about the benefits of fresh foods and also the difference between local fresh foods and those you might get, say, at a grocery store that might have been shipped from all over the country or world to get to your plate, often picked months and months earlier and don't have the same level of nutrition or flavor. So giving them that experience of eating something that was grown locally and why that's so important and why it's so important to grow your own food.
It was kind of sour. It was sour. And that was my first time ever trying that, but it had a pretty color.
One of our students, they did something special for someone in the community. And so we get all these people here to celebrate and to recognize what Allison did for someone in her community.
That morning while boarding the school bus, you noticed a small child wandering alone on the street, wearing only a t-shirt. Recognizing the danger the child was in, you immediately alerted the bus driver and took action to help. I want to give you a First District Commander's coin. It's got a 1 on the front for the First District and the seal of the Cleveland Division of Police on the back.
And I saw the girl walk out and the bus driver was about to hit her.
And so what did you say to the bus driver?
I was like, stop. And then he told me, who was that? It's like your niece. I was like, no, that's not my niece. And then I went off the bus to go grab her.
It shows a great deal of awareness and maturity for her age. Most kids, like you say, they're on the bus, they're talking, they're on their phone, you know, and the fact that she noticed, she paid attention, you know, to what was going on at that particular time is just, you know, amazing.
I think it's very important because, you know, we're a community. We work together, we help each other, and that's how we get things done, and she's already doing that. Children can teach us a lot, and I think she did. Be aware, look around, help people when you see them in need.
I don't really care about the gifts because it was just the point to save somebody, anybody that need help.
Hi, I'm Darielle Snipes with CMSD Communications. Today, I am so excited. I am hanging out with 2 of the Senate League girls flag football teams, John Hay and Rhodes. This sport is gaining popularity. Right now, CMSD has 7 teams. I'm so excited to learn more about flag football. Let's go. Joining me now is head coach of the John Hay ladies flag football team, Coach Vanetta Kreider. Welcome.
Thank you.
So I know this is an exciting sport. It's a growing sport. It just got sanctioned by the Ohio High School Athletic Association. That's exciting news. So now your girls can go for state championships. But you know, some of us were brand new to flag football. Tell me, what is the difference between flag football and just basic football?
The difference for flag football and basic football for our girls is that we actually get to compete this year. Outside of only using flags and not be able to contact each other, and we have to wear mouthpieces.
Okay, but just talk about the growing popularity of this girl sport and how exciting it is, especially here in CMSD and the Senate League.
Yes, right now it means that girls flag football is now recognized by OSHA. So now we get more opportunities to get school funding. So luckily we're a Division I school, so we had about 40 girls that come and try out. So this year we were expecting even more.
I mean, what do you think about that more girls want to play football?
I'm excited. I'm excited to teach them and for them to want to be competitive and lead and be outside their comfort zone.
The fact that it's, you know, when people think about football, they think about it as a male-dominated sport. The fact that flag football, especially girls flag football, is taking off, it gives young ladies an opportunity to play what once was known as a male-dominated sport. Can you just talk about that opportunity for them?
Yes, it now gives the girls a platform to compete and lead, and we're breaking stereotypes and proving that football isn't just for boys. Anybody can play as long as you got the passion and the skill for it.
And joining me now are two players from the girls flag football team at Rhodes. Welcome. Tell me your names and what grade you're in.
I'm Aaliyah. I go to Rhodes Environmental Studies and I'm in 10th grade.
My name is Naya. I go to RCCA and I'm in 10th grade.
Wonderful. So just tell me, because I don't know, I'm learning, what is the difference between flag football and football?
Well, flag football and regular football, we already know it's not as much contact, but there's a lot you can do. Like the quarterback can't run.
The ball is smaller, less people on the field, so it gives. And flag is it's quick. It's not like football. Football you have more time. Flag is quick, and you have like less time.
Okay, and then you also have the flags.
Yeah.
How hard or easy is it to get another opponent's flag?
It depends on how fast the person is moving.
Yeah,
and what moves they're pulling out. But usually, if you're catching up to the person, it's very easy. They're not hard to pull or nothing, so.
So tell me, why did you guys want to join the team?
Well, I wanted to join the team because ever since I was very young, I always played regular football with my brothers. And when I got older, I realized it was something I always wanted to do. In 2023, I played flag football with boys, but then I got scouted for a girls team, and we went all the way to nationals in Las Vegas and won a championship ring there. And then when I came here, there was no flag football team, so I asked if I could play tackle. But my mom wouldn't let me, and then I found out later on we had a flag football team, and I was like, oh, this is my sport, so I'm definitely going to play.
I also feel like a sport that was really made for boys that girls never really got the opportunity to play. When I saw it at Rhodes, I feel like a sport that was always classified as a boys sport, girls being able to play, I feel like that was really cool, so I really wanted to take that opportunity to play. And also, Coach O'Neill, she really inspired me to play. She was the assistant basketball coach, and it really gave me something to do, and now it's something I really would do the rest of my years in high school and see where it takes me.
Right, so this is the second season for the team. Just talk about how fun it is and just the team camaraderie that you ladies have.
It was very fun. In the first year, it was some rough patches, but we always got through it. Our coach, she's a very great coach because she is more informational about flag football than basketball. So when she is out here, she put her hearts on the field just like we do.
Yeah, Coach O'Neill, she really great. She keeps us all lifted up. Something could go wrong, and she was always bringing the joy. It was our first year was really fun. We went real far, and just seeing where it took us, it made me excited for the next season to come. What we gonna bring to the table, and flag, I didn't expect it to be I thought it was just gonna be something to do. But when we actually started playing, I'm like, this is fun. It's really fun.
Now another difference is that flag football is played in the spring and not in the fall like regular football. Well, can you just talk about the fact that now it is a sanctioned sport, and so now you guys can go for a state championship? Just talk about you guys could be the state champs.
That's very exciting to me because, like I said, I always love football in general. So for me to have this opportunity to probably ever get scholarships to play in college is just something I want to achieve.
I think that's really good. It opens up more opportunities for the girls and gives girls something to do, because we always, as a girl, we always doubt it, or we don't always get as much opportunity, so it just opens the door for girls sports.
Now it's still, even though you guys don't have pads and a helmet, it still can be tough. I mean, it's still it's still a contact sport, would you not say?
You're definitely gonna fall. You're definitely gonna
get bumps.
But it's fun.
Yes, it's very exciting.
All right, well, thank you, ladies. The Board of Education's job is to make sure that the right adult behaviors are in place so that students can learn and grow in school every day.
I hope to motivate the scholars in some form of and capacity, really to make sure that they're inspired by the work that we do for them. This is a job of service, fully volunteer role, but the people that are serving on the board, myself included, are doing it out of passion and pure hope of the scholars' futures. And so I hope that they start to believe in themselves the same way that we believe in them.
Having been an educator all my life, I thought I would have a significant role to play in shaping what our young people and young scholars and our future leaders are going to be doing with their education. I believe in paying it forward, and I still believe I am paying it forward for myself.
I am an inveterate volunteer, and so I saw this as an opportunity to give back to the Cleveland community and try to make a difference.
I enjoy being engaged with people in my neighborhood, hearing from them, learning what they think about different things, hearing suggestions, hearing thoughts, even the complaints. I enjoy engaging with the students, and I think that's my role with being a board member, is engaging with the community in every way possible.
I'm out there every day talking to people, sitting on every community work group that you can think of. What I want to accomplish is that we level up the opportunities for our children to receive the best education possible. And I want you to be able to discover all the goodness in you, because we all have something that is unique about us. So we want to give you the opportunity to explore that and make good decisions once you leave the school system.
I believe that this district can be a premier district, and I'd love to be remembered for pushing a standard of excellence.
I wanted to give back to the school system that I participated in from kindergarten to graduating senior. I'm hoping to make a difference, have a positive impact, and see the test scores and graduation rates increase. I also hope to inspire other CMSD alum to give back to CMSD with their time and support.
I'm grateful to interact with so many wonderful people, brilliant individuals who have the capabilities and skill sets to really make our city even greater. And I'm just honored to be a part of the plan of the CMSD and the service of this community.
As a kid myself, I moved around a lot and I went to a lot of different schools. And what I saw firsthand is that all children are born equal with the same rights to education, but not all schools are created equal. And some schools have more resources than others. Some schools have more of the right practices than others. And I wanted to be a part of making sure that our school system was the right system for our children so they could have the education that they deserve.
We all have different skill sets, different experiences, different backgrounds that we all bring to the table when it's time for us to have these discussions. We bring different perspectives and different life experiences. And so being able to sit at the table with other leaders in our community and people who actually are invested in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District system, it means that we're providing different perspectives. We're looking at it from different lenses and different angles, which is also representative of our community, right?
You know, our students achieving everything that they possibly can, achieving and striving towards our goals and guardrails that our board laid out. I think that, you know, producing students that can enter the world in whatever way they choose to and be successful is really the only thing to accomplish from my perspective.
Most importantly is increasing student outcomes. So we have our challenges, but my board colleagues and I and Dr. Morgan and his incredible staff are heavily focused on that, and we're going to do everything in our power to make it happen.
My favorite quote is Man in the Arena, actually. It's by former President Teddy Roosevelt, and it's really about not paying attention to the critics. It's not the critic who counts, it's not the person on the sidelines, it's the person who's getting dusty in the arena every single day and getting back up again and again and again, even after failure. And even if you fail at something, at least you failed by daring greatly. But the only way to be great is to try.
Today it is the last scrimmage to find out who goes to state. It has been a really great journey. It's different learning about STEM and like robotics and tech.
My favorite part about building the robot is all the teamwork it takes.
the teamwork, I feel like it brings our team together, and I really like that part.
The robot has to launch artifacts, which is similar to a ball. So they're launching it into a pyramid type situation and get those points. And then you have to line your robot in a certain order to get points. It's a lot of challenges in depth in getting points.
Our robot, it took us a lot of time to really build it. It took a lot of patience. We came across many problems and challenges, like our chain kept breaking, so we had to find a lot of solutions to that problem. And it was a lot of gracious professionalism used.
This is their thing, and they really take it seriously, and they come out and they try, and you just, like this morning, one of my girls did something in one of the presentations, and I started to tear up because I was just so proud of them because I've never seen this child do this, and she just blossomed right in front of me.
Hey CMSD family, I'm Tiffany and we are back with our final episode of On Guard CMSD Safety and Security. Today I'm joined with a few scholars from our Garrett Morgan campus, and they are here to tell us about how our safety officers create a better learning environment and how the feeling of safety helps scholars to learn better. So in your opinion, how do safety officers help to create a better learning environment?
I feel like they make a better learning environment because kids don't have to worry about things outside of school because security already has it like put together and make sure the kids are safe around the campus.
Just to piggyback off what he said a little bit, I agree. Like, you don't have to focus, you can focus on learning and learning only. You don't have to focus on anything outside of that.
Yeah, the security officers do like help us get to class on time, make sure we aren't getting sidetracked. So they help us like push us to our classes to make sure we're on track.
And why do you think having safety officers is important for the school community? So you kind of talked about a little bit about what they do, but what is the feeling that they give you?
It's like comfortability, like which I feel like is really important when you're trying like in a learning institute.
I feel more like I can get like my education without worrying about anything.
Yeah, like it provides a almost like a safety net of knowing that they're there with us to help us if we are having any issues that occur. Yes.
So can you let me know, what do you appreciate most about our safety officers?
I appreciate that you can, like, they're safety officers, but you can also have a conversation with them. Like, they're here to protect us, but they are also, like, they have a character. Like, they are people, so they, like, know how to talk to us because they were once us at a certain point in time. So.
Yeah, like to piggyback off of that, like I appreciate how you can sometimes have a conversation with them if you're ever in need, if you ever need to just like talk about a situation you're having at home or an issue you're having at school, you could just talk to them and they'll give a reply and try to help you.
Yeah, they're really like good. They're really like calm and chill. They like to talk to the student and try to like encourage them, and it's cool.
A big thank you to our safety and security team and our scholars over here at Garrett Morgan High School. Now let's head over to John F. Kennedy. Now we're here at John F. Kennedy High School with a few of our scholars here to tell us why safety and security matters for their learning environment. So first, in your opinion, how do safety officers help to create a better learning environment?
Make the students feel more safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
we
they
need more
like
security guards. Like,
yeah, they help
make us feel safe.
help the teacher sometimes too, the principals. You're more comfortable. You ain't got to worry about people coming here doing stuff they ain't supposed
Crazy
to be doing.
stuff.
You know.
So to feed off that, what do you appreciate most about your safety officers here?
They help a lot.
like-
Yeah,
I
they
feel
help
like
a
they
lot.
all like they make sure we good. They help the principal, admin team with the kids, and yeah.
Yeah, we got a good bond with them too.
Yeah.
They some of them take their job too serious, but that's good
Because we need that. We need that,
Yeah.
like that structure.
Do you think, in your opinion, feeling secure helps students learn their best?
Yeah. They ain't got to worry about nothing like no dangers or nothing like that.
Yeah, you I have feel a safe here-
learning environment.
I feel like here, like the security guards here, like if we need them, like we could always go talk to them, like.
Yeah, like
And then-
got a good bond with most of them. You know, we knew them for most of the time we've been here, so.